Welcome back to another one. A Word with the Wise. It's your boy B, the Wiser, here with a special guest, a very good friend of mine. This is Jbreezie, aka Jbreezie, aka Andrew Jones. Let the people know who you are.
Military brat, moved all over, started working audio engineering and production when I was 13. Got the name from World of Warcraft name generator, and it was Thorin Fambreezie. I was like, hell no. So I just added the J after it, and it became my thing after that, and it became a meme throughout high school. It was actually kind of funny, like Jbreezie's Christ, Breezie, the freshest, it was all sorts of nicknames throughout high school, but I'm just an artist based out of Dallas, Texas, and I'm proud to be here.
Yes, sir. So go ahead and kind of just open up how you started and, what kind of sprung it all.
What sprung it all is most of my family and friends were all into music. My grandpa made violins.
Violin's like one of my favorite instruments.
Is it? Yeah. He made them from scratch too, and when he passed, they're planning on sending me one of the ones that he built, which I think is fucking sick. You know what I mean? Wow. But I fell in love with it, being able to work with different artists, grow my talents over the years. Because, like I said, I started from 13, and I'm 23. It's been 10 years. A decade, and I've been working with it. Growing my strengths, learning more every time I work with a new artist, what I mean? But no, I really enjoy it. I really enjoy working with different people, learning new styles, learning how when I work with a new style, I like to learn how I can use my skills to adapt to these new styles.
Yeah, of course. Like music's constantly changing, and you got, like you were telling me in the car, like people are going off on TikTok, and like they're gonna make something push like that pop. It's like pop rap, the way they're incorporating it now.
I worked with many artists all over DFW, Dallas, even in Denton. I had plenty of artists. I'm on Spotify. I've worked with artists all over, and I really enjoy doing it. I worked with people, and every time I work with a different person, I learn something, and I really enjoy what I gain from it, and also the outcome of what we work together is almost always posted on or released on a platform, Spotify,
of course,
Apple Music, whatever, and I think it's a really great thing that I can be a part of that, you know what I mean?
100%.
And I don't necessarily want to be the face of the city, or the face of the project, but I do just enjoy learning and working with different people. It makes me learn more, which in turn makes me a better producer and artist.
So like, if y'all don't know, Mans is producer, engineer, rapper, just lyrical, lyricist, songwriter. I just feel like there's just so many elements behind it all, and the fact that you started so young really shows how much poise you had in it. What was it that when you started at age 13?
I picked up Audacity. And
Audacity. Man, that was the toy back then.
I know it was the toy, but it's my introduction.
100%. You can do a lot on Audacity. 100%.
Yeah, and then I hopped into now I use Ableton. And Pro Tools and
not the boss again. Hey, tell me.
It is the boss again.
All right, go ahead. As far as the thing that kind of sparked your music interest when you were 13.
My dad used to play a lot of Beck, Weezer. Beck is what I was really into.
What is Beck?
Beck?
Yeah. I guess another band.
Yeah, it's another band. Yeah. It's similar to Weezer, but they do more you ever heard E-Pro?
Mm-mm.
Really?
E-Pro?
E-Pro?
A-Pro?
E-Pro?
E-Pro?
Que Onduero? Que
Onduero.
Hey, que Onduero.
No, I don't know.
No, you don't know? Alright, well, whatever. So my dad
Sounds like a vibe, though.
Yeah, I'll send it to you later. My dad used to play a lot of, like bangers in the car when we were, like, driving to school or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I realized, like, I really like this music, and this might seem like to be something that I'd be interested in, you know? So I had ideas in my head because I've always had, like, I guess a musical mindset. Mm-hmm. You know, I always wanted to be an artist, even if my face isn't shown. Yeah. I just love making music.
To create,
I've always wanted to create. And my dad was kind of that stepping stone into the mindset of what I want to do. You know what I mean? Yeah. If that makes sense. Yeah. But yeah, it really was my dad that got me into it. Listening to all the music that he. I had an MP3 player. It was like this big and this big, mm-hmm. and it only held like, I think, like.
Dude,
6.
I remember those days. The little small ass.
Yeah. And he put a bunch of songs on the MP3 player, and I was listening to them. I was like, hell yeah, you know, this is it. And this is the kind of music I'm interested in. And then over time it transferred into, I like all music instead, mm-hmm. you know, of just, you know, that alt rock type of thing. And then I was like, so what do I want to create? You know what I mean? And it ended up being, you know, anything from rock to rap to trap.
Do you remember the first song you ever made?
I do. You guys probably won't hear that because I was like 14, but I have it saved. You know,
it's on the hard drive somewhere.
Yeah, it's on the hard drive somewhere. But no, man, I was deciding at one point, you know, what do I really want to focus on? Mm-hmm. But then I decided, why should I have to focus on one when I have so many different ideas that I could put out there? And it became a thing where I was just like, anything that I make that I like, I'm gonna work towards that, you know, and eventually, you know, get it up to a point where I'm versatile, if you will. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's really cool, the fact that as artists, there's just like a wide spectrum of how we can express ourselves and the different genres of music and the different emotions we can evoke. Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, I'm on the same page with you. It's like, there's so many different sounds and like just rhythms that, you know, it's all just pleasing and it's all so beautiful to hear. Yeah. And like, I hate the idea of like artists, and you know, I get it. I guess not everybody's like that, right? Like maybe somebody just wants to make rap music or just wants to do like fucking R&B, right?
I just love
like,
so much
it's like,
that it's hard to pick a single genre.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. And your whole idea of like, you know, kind of chipping away at everything you want to try and everything you're feeling in that moment, overall, it compounds together, and then you eventually are just growing and like, okay, this R&B thing or this alt rap thing, it just becomes easier because you've kind of perfected it, and now you've went through trial and error stages, and you're like, okay, now I want it to sound like this, or like, oh, this would make it much better.
Yeah, so, definitely.
Yeah, right.
And I don't, like I said, I want to be versatile. Yeah. Because I plan on working as an audio engineer, and as an audio engineer, you can't say I'm an only audio engineer for rap music. Or only an audio engineer for alt rock, you know? So I have plenty of instruments. I've worked for so long trying to get everything, get my knowledge base up, you know what I mean? And I really want to be able to work with as many artists as possible, so I have to understand what those artists, or understand the music so that I can further help those artists. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that makes sense. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
No, 100%, right? Like that, the music is their backbone, and then they are the soul and the body, right? So like, you can't help somebody, you know, realign with themselves if you're not experienced in this or that, right? It's an overall holistic approach. It's all togetherness, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I agree.
So I would say, what do you think is something that you want to provide to the music industry, right? Like as an artist, as Jbreezie.
I want to provide, in all the music that I put so far, or put out so far, you know, I'm on Apple Music, I'm on Spotify, I'm on just
DistroKid, my man's is on YouTube Music, Pandora,
Pandora, I have a whole list of things that I could pull up, but I think that what I want to provide is something that people can relate to.
100%.
And not only relate to, but maybe learn from, because lyricism is, you know, part of the heart to the soul. You know what I mean? If
saying
I phrase
something,
that,
you know, actually saying something.
Exactly, and I feel like a lot of artists nowadays, they try, but it doesn't quite get the point across. You know what I mean? Like when I'm gonna pop some tags. What's his name?
What the fuck is his name?
Macklemore.
Macklemore.
Yeah. He kind of picked one genre, right? And he was the first one to do the things that people wouldn't say. Yeah. Right. Well, my job, or not my job, my idealistic is to maybe do that in a sense, but also be able to teach and get my words across at a point where I don't get hate like Macklemore. I mean, I respect everything he does. He's the only one that said what other rappers wouldn't, or other artists.
What are you referring to?
Well, he made that song. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was all about like, well, what I believe it to be about was kind of like.
Did he say something controversial?
No, nothing controversial. He was trying to get a point across. Okay. And I can't remember the name of the song, but he basically was negating, like, I can't remember if it was like homophobia or whatever. But he had good intentions, you know. But he was the only one to do that, and a lot of artists gave him shade to that. But I believe, you know, he did what he thought that he was right, and that's what I'm trying to do. Exactly. You know what I mean? Yeah. But what I'm trying to do, you know, maybe in the future, maybe controversial. I'll have to deal with that when the time comes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think if you're just following what your heart wants and then sticking to the consistency of being your true authentic self, like, you could never do wrong, right? Like, I get it. There could be some moments like maybe you have a bar that's just like, I don't know, just like out of pocket or something. But you know, I think at the end of the day,
I try my best not to do that.
Yeah, right. It's like, if that's what you were feeling at that time, that's what you were feeling at that time.
And that's another thing I take very, very personally, is that if I am feeling that what I'm saying at that time, you can't hate me for it. Yeah. Because that's what I was saying when I felt what I felt, and I said what I felt. Yeah. And you can't hate somebody for feelings.
Yeah, you know what? I think they can make that decision to hate you, but at the end of the day, they have to respect that you did that. Like, they can't take that away from you. Yeah, you said that. Okay, they feel a certain type of way about it. That's how they feel about it. But they have to understand that you had the audacity or the gall.
Audacity.
Yeah, he said that. Yeah, respect it.
No,
hate
I
it,
did.
love
I said
whatever.
that. I said that, and I meant it. Yeah. And you can take that as you will, but in my mind, I thought that was the right thing to do when I said it, and maybe over time my opinions will change, but that's not for you to tell me I'm wrong. You know what I mean? Because that's what I felt as an artist, and if you throw shade, you know, you throw a shade, not everybody can agree.
Yeah, that is true. You can't please everybody, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I hate to say it, but like I always am a people pleaser. Like in my mind, I want to make other people happy, or I want to make them feel comfortable, or whatever. But
yeah.
like, you know, you can't just tiptoe around like that all the time.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, talking about X, right?
Mm-hmm.
X said a lot of things that people didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Look at where he's at now.
Yeah.
One of the greatest artists of the
generation,
generation. And he said some things. I mean, Eminem, he said some very fucked up, cool things.
Indeed, he did. And then people still fucking stand him, like, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, it just takes risks, and it takes the honest truth.
Fucking cojones, bro.
Cojones, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I'm not quite there yet to make those statements, because I'm still young, and I believe I have a lot more to learn before I was to make a statement like Eminem,
of course,
you know? But where I'm at now, I'll make my statements to what I believe, but they might not be as derogatory as some other artists, you know? But they did that in their own path. And I believe that I should be allowed my opportunity to make my own path with my own lyrics, with my own style, with my own ideals. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So, speaking of where you're at right now, what's something that, with all the perspective and experience that you've gained from when you started to where you are now, what's something that you wish you would have realized sooner, or something that you could kind of like could have told yourself back then to kind of, you know, help you piece things together better?
Like if I was speaking to my past self?
Yeah.
Okay. If I was speaking to my past self, I would have told my past self, put more time into it, look up way more YouTube videos, gain
YouTube
more...
University. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And also gather advice and network a bit more, because I've always been shy on reaching out to people and asking for ideas. That's why I tried to learn myself over the past decade, you know? And I mean, it hasn't turned out horribly, but I feel like it could have turned out a lot better if I had the balls to say, hey, help me. You know what I mean? Which is what a real man asks for help.
Oh, 100%.
And as I'm growing, I'm understanding that virtue a bit more. You know what I mean?
I feel similar in the aspect of like, I wanted to figure it out for myself, or I wanted to go through the trials and really learn it, like, other than like, out, you know, bothering other people, or like asking like all these other questions that I should have known already, or something like, like being the fear of them just saying like, like you could just look that up, or like, you know, how don't you know that, you know, the feeling of being embarrassed of being, you know, an artist, like an independent person with not really any connections or really support around you, you know, right?
And I can't tell you how many times I've looked up videos. I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to people. I can't tell you how many times they've been like disrespectful, but I take it with a grain of salt. And if you do that, you learn more. As long as you're open and say, hey, I'm not good at this, or whatever, would you please help me? 99% of the time, maybe that's a made-up percentage.
Made-up statistic. 99% of the time, so they're gonna fucking help you.
They will help you, because I believe that a lot of people in the industry are very helpful. I've learned a lot from people that I barely even knew. And I tried my best to learn as much as I could over a decade. Still not enough. I'm working on going to Full Sail University and knocking it all out.
Dude, that's gonna be sick. Fuck yeah.
But for what I've been doing, I think I've been doing well enough. I think there are things that that I could have been done better, but you know, you live and you learn. You know,
there's always something we could have done better. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
But so, what do you think along this journey? What are some obstacles or challenges that kind of arose that you didn't, you know, weren't expecting? You know,
So I'm still learning myself. I'm still young.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of bad decisions when it comes to artists that have disrespected me. And
What happened?
what happened?
Yeah.
So there was an artist that I was over in Denton. It was around the same time I met you, and he was like treating me like his bitch. He would come into my house,
Fuck, no.
and then I was
And like use your equipment and like
Use
act
my
like
equipment.
you're like, hey, run that bag.
yeah, and I'm like, dude, I'm sleeping. I told you not to come over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So to be more maybe aggressive, not aggressive, but like stern.
Yeah.
Be like, and I tried, and it didn't work out well in my favor. There was a lot of confrontation.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I'm not a fighter, and
I'm a lover, not a fighter. 100%.
I'm not a fighter,
I'm a lover.
but I believe that if you can take it with a grain of salt, and you know, just kind of like they come at you, you're like, all right, let's talk about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
right.
something that I've learned.
Yeah.
Another thing that I've learned is to pick, to read the people, understand what they want, and then make your decisions after that. So, for example, the guy, he wanted me to be his bitch, basically.
Yeah.
And I hadn't learned to stand up for myself at the time. And like I said, when he would just come into my house and use my equipment when I was asleep, and I told him not to come over, and then it ended up in a whole fuckfest. But
wasn't there a time when, like, I think I came over and like there was something going on? Like, did somebody ever steal from you or something?
There's been a lot of times like that. Yeah, people don't respect the producers, and that's
Never,
something
dude.
that I've learned.
Yeah.
They don't treat them. They treat them.
They got an ego. That's why they got that artist ego. Like, oh, that's just the producer. I'm the star.
But they don't realize that I'm the one that makes you a producer, or that makes you an artist.
Yeah.
And like, you can't have what you have without me. And they didn't respect that at the time, and it became a whole altercation, and that's what I felt to be disrespectful.
Of course,
and it's not right, and that was a whole fallout that we don't have time to talk about this, and I'd rather not to get into.
Yeah, you're fine.
But yeah, I do believe that my experience and my background has value
Yeah.
that they didn't take into consideration.
100%.
Yeah.
But other than that, was there any other challenges that you didn't foresee, being an artist, an engineer?
Yes. I'm not the best at advertising. I'm not the best.
Dude,
at,
100%.
Yeah.
The marketing game is a whole nother world. Man.
Yeah, and I just don't know enough about it because I've never been. I don't want to be that guy that's like in your DMs, like, hey, check out my Spotify, check out my SoundCloud, blah blah blah. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Especially because one, it pisses people off.
100%.
Two, it's not the right way to go about things. And three, you gain nothing. You gain less by bothering those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%.
So I just need to figure out the right way.
Bringing back music that makes you feel something, saying something, and then the aspect of like wanting to connect and have other people like understand, right?
Yeah.
Like whether it's like I'm making a song, if it impacts one person that can kind of feel the same way I'm feeling, like that's the goal for me. That's really all it is.
No,
right?
no, definitely.
Yeah.
I want to leave an imprint on the game before I leave.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all that really matters. Is to me, music is when somebody listens to it, they should be able to feel it in the soul, and they should also be able to enjoy the song with even not necessarily always, but listen to the music not even know the lyrics, and if it's bumping, hell yeah. And then they're gonna go back and be like, and remember the lyrics, and then try to, at least to me, try to get the message by then going and listening to the lyrics. You know what I mean? If they can't understand it the first time, which I try to be, you know, where my lyrics are understandable. Yeah, you know. But
I think I got to the point. When I started off, I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to be like so good. Like I wanted to rap fast and like have like lyrical entendres or whatever. But I think looking at that aspect, like I remember like I would make the song and I was rapping my ass off and I'd show my friend, and like listening back, I'm like I'm just spitting a bunch of words fast. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't cohesive, and it was just like one of those braggadocious rappers that are just like saying a bunch of shit just to say a bunch of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? One of my good friends, Cam, like he made it a good point. Like you get to bring back storytelling. You know what I mean? So
Definitely.
I think that's a really beautiful thing.
And that's something that people definitely will appreciate more.
Dude,
because they can understand it. A lot of that mumble rap, it's just hard for beats.
Yeah, like it goes in one ear, it goes out the other ear. You know, like looking at Lil Pump, like man's the epitome of mumble rap. You know, and look at him now, not a thing in sight.
I haven't written this or recorded any of this, but my hypothesis is in 2 years I'll be the top of this. Man, even God acknowledges I'm in my prime like optimist. Consciousness, bottomless, metropolis, populous is marvelous, phenobis in my anomalous, bottomless confidence. I focus in on asserting my rap dominance, and as a consequential, strike you down like Solomon. See, the problem will put you in the coffin, man. You look better as a dead man, it's obvious, I'm popping, bitch. You really out here fucking with the sloppy bitch. Jump so hard, man, I'm rocking this. I said my shit so hard, yeah, the water boiling. Never been a dense guy, walking water boiling. And one step ahead, clairvoyant. Your girl hit my line because your dick appointment disappointing. Like, and that's just something I didn't have memorized, but but just like something that's also goofy, but also has like a like a message.
The message. Like there's. Like you're flowing, all, like they just all come together, right?
And
like,
some of it's hard, some of it's, what's the word? Like inspirational in a way. Like, and then
it's like preaching, and then being real, and then
and then you go into kind of like the
digging into somebody or digging into
Yeah, you feel me.
It's like you got something to say, you know what I mean?
I got something to say, but I also mixing it up with like a different genre where, like we mentioned earlier, it's I'm catering to two different
audiences.
Audiences, and when I do that, once the audience that goes and listens to it, or the hard part, then maybe they'll listen to the parts that mean something. You know what I mean? So you got to mix it together. You can't always be hard. You can't always be soft. I mean, you can. A lot of people do it very well. Like
I keep saying 100%, but I feel you 100%. But so something I've always wanted to ask you before I ran out of time. So who are some of your dream collabs? Like you get the opportunity to work with that is like in the game right now, and it doesn't have to be like an A-list or B-list, like just somebody you've always wanted to work with, or other people.
I have a few. Donald Glover.
That's on my list right there. I aspire to be him, like not even like be him, but just to accomplish the mountains of things that he's done, right? Yeah,
and he's very versatile in all of his endeavors.
Dude, everything.
And Janae Echo.
Janae Echo?
Yeah.
Why? Just bad.
Well, I'm not a no. That's not the reason why. I believe she has a lot of knowledge and a lot of inspiration to share, and
loud inspiration.
Yeah, and then I would like to learn things from people like Donald Glover, and I would like to learn things from people like Dre, because he's been in the game for so long.
They were pioneers of this shit.
Yeah, exactly. But you asked for, the people that I think that I could not use them, but learn from.
But yeah,
you know what I mean?
Grow with. Yeah.
Grow from.
Yeah.
I also really rest in peace, Mac Miller.
Fuck.
Yeah.
When that day came, fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Not ready for that shit.
I had a Mac Miller on my wall.
Yeah.
A
which
poster.
album? Or just him?
Yeah, it was just a poster. And then I had the, was it the Long Live ASAP with the American flag thing? Yeah. ASAP. This is definitely a good one. But I think out of like maybe like top 3 would have to be
Donald Glover for sure.
Janae Aiko, and then Logic.
Logic?
Yeah.
Okay. Why Logic?
Why Logic? I believe...
Did you know he's biracial?
Yeah. Oh, no shit. Yeah. No, because he has patterns and flows that I have studied.
Dude, yeah, his rhyme scheme goes crazy, yeah.
Yeah, I've studied and still quite can't understand. But he's doing something right.
Yeah.
So that means I can learn something from him, you know what I mean? And but I would say I could give you a whole list of artists that I would love to learn from. But Erykah Badu, oh my God, she's so beautiful.
She's a gem.
She's a gem, bro.
Love her shit.
I think that if I was to go towards the outside of rap, maybe to like, I don't know, name another genre.
Like indie or alternative.
I used to wrestle with this guy.
You used to wrestle with him?
Yeah,
okay.
I used to wrestle.
Oh, okay. Wrestle.
Yeah, I used to wrestle with him. Sorry, I'm pulling up TikTok.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna look at my followers because, let's see, following. Here we go. So he's a great artist. I've actually worked with him once. I wish that I could work with him more. But
what kind of music he make?
He makes like alt rock, kind of like happy music, like you know, he's a really upbeat type of artist. Man, Juice WRLD, oh my God. R.I.P.
I saw some skank shit. You know his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend, Ali, whatever.
Hey.
What about it, woman?
She gave his Bape puffer jacket to her current boyfriend, and they put the pictures side by side. She's a fucking bitch, dude. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if it's confirmed, but I'm pretty sure she was a part of like the whole scheme to get him arrested, dude. But that's a conspiracy theory. I don't know. I won't speak on that. But as far as I know, if you give my shit to your next partner, that's fuck shit. I don't play that. Fuck that. You pulling up that one dude?
Yeah, I'm trying to find him. Oh, I could probably just check his Instagram. Hold on. It won't take too long.
No, you're good. I'll be cutting and editing and shit, so don't gotta worry about shit.
Oh, Andy of Dallas.
Andy of Dallas.
Yeah, so...
He's a dancer?
Yeah, he was...
Went from wrestling to dancing, damn.
Yeah, and he's really good.
Damn.
Yeah, he's baller.
Breezy shit.
Let's see. Andy... Oh, okay, I'm following him. Let me show you a couple of his. Made by yours truly.
Hey, shout out Asian brother. If the Backyardigans were an indie pop band.
And this is 3.3 million views.
Damn.
Yeah, I know. Do you remember this? He made the original.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And he lives here in Dallas. I produced with him one time, but this is the kind of music he makes. Yeah.
Dude, I love that, yeah. He's a pop vibe, yeah. I like that.
So I just need to hit him up and
yeah, be like, hey, you trying to wrestle one time for the one time?
Yeah.
In the studio?
In the studio. You know what it is.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. That's dope as fuck.
Yeah.
And you said you knew him through wrestling?
Yeah, he was a year above me, and we used to train together and practice.
Yeah. What a switch.
Yeah, well, he went back eventually and helped as because they do like a camp. Mm-hmm. And he would be one of the advisors on the camp and help train the kids and all that. Mm-hmm. But the only time that I ever wrestled him was for like school.
For fun?
Yeah. No, for school. Okay. All right. But yeah, no, there's a lot of artists I want to reach out to. It's just, like I said earlier, you know, I'm not the best at reaching out, and 100%. That's something that I need to grow past.
Yeah. But, I mean, we're all busy, man. We're all adults. We're all striving to fucking make our money and chase our passions, and then also finding the time for it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But so, last question I'll ask you. I'm gonna dig through my mind. It was gonna be a stupid one, right? Like ass or tits, and why? But,
ass or tits and why?
Yeah.
Ass, and the reason being is because how often do you find yourself grabbing ass during then you grab the tits?
Solid point. You gotta grab something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And if that's the ass is there, And I mean, I'll still grab the front to make her feel better, but
has to be.
Not even to make her feel better. I enjoy it too, but
I mean, 100%. Nice little slap here and there, nice little grab, you know. But more seriously in music, how would you like to change the game? And you look back, you know, like let's say it's like 10 years from now, you're 33, you know.
Yeah.
What would you want for yourself at that time?
Oh, by the way, I'm 23.
He's 23, yo.
Yeah. In 10 years, what do I see myself doing in 10 years and having an effect on the game?
Yeah. Like, what do you aspire?
See, I've never wanted to be the face of the city. Mm-hmm. You know, I've always wanted. It
wasn't all about the fame or the cameras and all that shit. Yeah,
that's not really me.
Yeah.
I would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but
it's not what it's about.
It's not what it's about. It's about making good music that makes people feel good, that gives a lesson, it gives feelings, and it inspires people. Mm-hmm. And also, with all of that, also sounds good. Because you
sonically, it's got to be good.
Yeah. So, you know, make a song that sounds good, but also have that good message behind it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I made a song in my last album. It was called Brown Paper Bag, and the entire song was just me roasting myself. Hilarious, but not
Brown
good.
Paper Bag, Jbreezie, all streaming platforms. Check it out.
I would go for Comfortable.
Comfortable?
Yeah, Comfortable.
Best Friends, if you really want to.
Oh, Best Friends.
That's my shit right there.
Yeah, that's a good song. That's a good song. Yeah. Best Friends, Jbreezie. But I believe that I want to leave my legacy as somebody that that left a message, and his legacy isn't something that people look down upon. Mm-hmm. And as I'm thinking about it, I'm realizing that I have a lot more thinking to do.
Yeah. No, 100%.
And I mean, I have time, you know, but I do believe that in the end, I will have that down. Yeah. I'm pretty adamant, almost vehement, if you will, that I will leave my legacy on the world. And I'm small now, but
before you know it, things will be changed. You'll be viral, or you'll be huge, and you work with the right person, and the shit takes off, and then you'll look back and you'll think about those days where like nobody knew about you yet, and you were still grinding and perfecting. Yeah. And then
my first album that I put out after I got done with SoundCloud, because that was the intro when I was like 13. Yeah. I started putting stuff on, you know, all of the platforms. I started taking it a little bit more seriously. My lyrics were more relatable, informative, and that's my goal, is to keep growing as an artist and make my way, so that eventually, like when the time comes, people can look back at me and say, he did it right.
He was on something.
He did it right.
Yeah.
And I believe that as long as I keep working, learning, working with the right people, like yours truly. He came up here all the way from
Austin, Texas.
Yes, just to do this. And I believe that as long as I just keep learning, meeting the right people, getting a better grasp on the music industry, I'll be there at some point.
Like, you could be, so you're 10 years, you could be 20 years in, there's always still something to learn, right? Like, you've always got another way to level up or some way to tweak yourself, and the journey never ends. It really never ends. And that's what I really love about music, right? Because it never is about the destination. It's about the constant one-upping yourself, and like, all right, I'm doing this better now this way, or now it's like this, and
But I also like to grab people's opinions along the way. If I make something, my most trusted people, I'll send them my track, and I do like feedback before I even
feedback is so important.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they say, well, what did you mean by this part? And I'll explain it to them, and they say, well, you could have worded that better. You could have gone about that method a bit better. I'll take that into consideration. I always love feedback.
Yeah.
But with people's schedules, it doesn't always get back in time.
Oh yeah,
all that good stuff.
We take it all with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? It's like when you feel confident, when it's ready to release, then you're gonna release that shit.
I take mine more than a grain of salt, because there's a truth in everything that they tell you. If they say, your lyrics aren't quite understandable. Okay,
that's a major.
Why aren't they understandable? And if they give me, they're like, well, you could have said it like this, you could have said it like that. I'm like, okay, which would you prefer? I try to go into depth when I ask people these questions, because I believe that I am technically catering to an audience, but I'm also catering to myself. So I have to find that line. Yeah, you know what I mean? But I do believe that there is a correlation between what I like to make and what the people want to hear, but I believe that what I want to make is slightly more important, because it's what I want to say and my belief.
Here we are again. Let's go ahead and bring it back to...
I mean, it's all about the legacy, right? 10 years, I hope to not only show something to the industry that's different, but I want to leave a legacy that people can understand. I think that music is all about emotions. You can listen to jazz and feel one emotion, country gives you another emotion, rap gives you another emotion, and in 10 years, I don't know where I'm going to be at in 10 years, but I hope that my music can...
You might be a porn star in 10 years.
Yeah, you right. Hey, yo, you know you right. I hope to leave a legacy that uplifts people, and that people get the same feeling that they get when they listen to all my life I want, one of those.
The infectious energy,
Yeah, and I hope that people can also listen to me and gain a sense of relation, if you will. I hope that my lyrics can relate to people. I hope that my lyrics can make people feel better, and I want to make the game a better place where it's not all about gangster rap and gangster trap and all this. I want to make a different music industry Not saying that I can't, not saying that or that I could, but that is my goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that everybody that listens to my music gains something that is beneficial.
Yeah. Just leaving that impact on them, touching them in the slightest way.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard so many songs that have taught me stuff and kind of changed my outlook on a lot of things, just from the lyrics alone.
Yeah.
And I think that is honorable, and that's something that I want to emphasize and push forward in my music. You know what I mean?
100%. That, absolutely respectable. Like, if you're doing music for the fame, for the money, for all these other reasons, like, you know what? Whatever. Right, to each their own. But in my eyes, a true artist who creates for themselves and for the love of the creation, to bring people together, to provide a connection, to just really look at it as like a sandbox mode, you know, like you're just having fun with your friends, you're creating a vibe, you're creating an energy, like it's like the infectious energy we talked about, like that in the spirit of music. I think that's what it's all about, and that's what it should be.
Yeah. And also teaching lessons.
Yeah. The message, the lessons.
Not a lot of people do listen to songs and they listen to all the lyrics and then they go on Rap Genius and it's like, oh, now I get it. That doesn't happen. Not a lot of people do that. But I want to make lyrics coherent, understandable, and to leave a message. You know what I mean? And that's something that I'm still learning. You know? So I do. That's my goal, is to make the music industry a better place, to put out real stuff. And I hope you take that with a grain of salt when I say real stuff, because there are a lot of real stuff, and there's real songs, real projects, but, you know, sometimes they miss something, sometimes they don't, but also there's so much music that saturated the game that does the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think that every artist that goes against that will eventually create a better music industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it all takes like-minded people like you and me, and like the people that we can gravitate towards each other, who are all on the same page to push the same message, and to just all unite and just fucking create a new
group,
wave.
man.
Dude, I've always wanted to start a rap group. You know what I mean?
So sick.
Like,
I wouldn't even know where to call it.
I don't know either, dude. Yeah, like there's just so many possible things. But as far as just pushing that new wave of what we aspire for the new generation, because it's all us. It's all on our backs. You know, we just gotta keep pushing and just stay consistent and just be on our shit. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Yeah. No, I totally understand.
I hope I never see the day where you go commercial on me, or you're on some like.
I plan to do nothing of the sort. I try my best to be as humble, and if I have questions on if I'm being humble, I always have my dad to talk to. I always have artists to talk to.
Yeah, those people that keep you grounded, bring you back to your roots of what you were meant to do.
When Jack Harlow, he talks about his team in Garden, and he's always saying, like, I got my team with me, you know, they hold me down, all this, you know. I hope and I believe that I do have that set of people, and I hope that in my future endeavors, you know, stay strong. Yeah,
100%. Surround yourself with the right people will bring you so much further than being alone. 100%.
Definitely.
Right? I think it was somebody who was saying, like Mr. Beast was talking about, like, you can work on your own individual for like a year. You might make a mistake here, and then you learn from it, and then, you know, you keep moving on and so forth. But then he talks about that team of, like, let's say, like, you know, 4 people, you know, guy number one makes a mistake, and then now he tells the other three guys, and they all know. And so like this guy will make a mistake, and then now you start doing that over and over again. So that team of like 4 people will be much further along than that one person who was doing everything on his own after 1 year. So like that just proves to show like strength in numbers, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No. And as for the people that I've worked with, Lache, or Malachi.
Shout out Lache.
Yeah, shout out Lache. I've worked with Eddie Banks. I've worked with countless.
Yeah.
And those are all people that are great artists that I've made mistakes with. That I'm still learning from those mistakes, and eventually, hopefully, maybe one day I'll work out with them, or everything will work out with them, and that I can reconcile, if you will.
Yeah, exactly.
And because they're great artists, I made mistakes in the past, like I said, and I believe that they're definitely beneficial towards the group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that'll about do it. That'll do it. Shout out to Jbreezie, Andrew. Shout out UNT Halloween party that we met at. Shout out to this wonderful world and this connection where we got to meet. This guy is a fucking one of a kind, jack of all trades. And I'm blessed to know him, and I'm glad that we're on the same wavelength. Like you're a motherfucking dog. Like like I've said before, like we're all growing and we're all doing our own things. And so I think a key point that's so important between you and me is like just remembering like we just gotta stay in touch and just always check with each other. You know what I mean? Because we're go ahead.
Excuse me. He came all the way up from
Austin, Texas.
I live in Dallas. He came all the way up for this interview. If that doesn't show how close, we are, he had his days off. He came up just for this interview because we've been so close, and all because of a Halloween party. Yeah. And I can't tell you how much I respect that.
Dude, yeah.
It means a lot.
If I didn't go to that party, or if you didn't go to the party, it'd be hard to know if our paths would ever cross. Like, I don't know, because I didn't live in that apartment complex. I don't think I had ever seen you on campus. We weren't in the same majors.
Yeah. Well, you were at the Halloween party across the street from my house, and I showed up with a handle, and I was like, "Hey, you want to let me in?" And they let me in, and I was out, and we were doing beer pong, and I was just like, "Hey, you want to swing?" And we started talking, and we were playing beer pong or whatever. Then we got to be good friends, and we worked in the studio several times. We got
like
we have so many
couple
projects.
songs in this tuck, bro. Yeah, Omnipotent. You remember that shit?
Yes, dude. And I still have it.
I was like, I need to hear that one time because I don't remember what the fuck.
Yeah, no, I think I have it saved on my Google Drive.
Oh fuck!
I can throw it your way. And we need to get back in the studio.
Oh yeah,
again,
100%.
for sure, dude.
Getting to work, baby.
Next
2023, moving with a new ferocity, a new velocity. I'm coming for my shit. I'm taking it. You know what I mean? So we're here to build our fucking future. That's what I'm glad for. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been another episode of The Word with the Wise, featuring your host, Be the Wiser, and special guest star, Jbreezie. I need you to...
Jbreezie.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going for Jbreezie.
Jbreeze's Christ. Jbreezie for Breezy, the freshest. Yeah. But, it's been a pleasure. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one.
All right. Thank you.
There it is.
All right, there we go. I wanted a hug.
Hell yeah, I'm glad we did this shit.
Yeah, thank you very much for everything.
Hopefully that recorded. Yep.